So, you spent some time in the Actarian Gulf, gathered infused obsidian, you've returned to the lounge, identifying armor, messing with mystery potions, resulting in some amusing effects. The next day, nursing hangovers, you enjoyed breakfast before the upcoming Gallimimus races. Deja shared her personal revelations and knowledge around the mythical city of Oricalis and potential alliances between malign forces. Went shopping, and Angus successfully sold a valuable statuette he'd crafted himself. And you all watched the races in which Liska was competing, where competitors raced on these Gallimimuses, or Longstriders as they're called in Townsgo, to the cheers of the crowd. The racers sprinted through the bustling terraces, skillfully avoiding obstacles, tore across the open beaches, attempting to hinder each other along the way, both deliberately and accidentally. You all stumbled, sprinted up the cliffside that's surrounding Itzil, facing dangerous terrain, nearly claiming the life of one racer as he risked too much, resulting in him losing his footing and disappearing over the edge of the cliffside. With the race almost neck and neck between Liska and the reigning champion, the proud and arrogant noble Takuma, you followed the track down, back down into the streets of Itzil with some shenanigans played by Liska's teammates from the sidelines, unbeknownst to the Blue Dragon of the Wastes herself. A final scream by Grunker sent a terrified Longstrider in second place, belonging to Jean Voliere, careening into Takuma's own mount, giving Liska the opening she needed to clutch a narrow victory. Bets were won. A new title has now been added to Liska's already exhaustive array of monikers, and Takuma gained somewhat of a new perspective on life, a bit of new respect for Liska. But many congratulations were offered from the crowds, including Ida and Thule, who had been watching from the sidelines, and an offer of dinner on them was made to celebrate Liska's victory. Liska being the only one to accept, so potential dinner date, for lack of a better term, between Liska and the two. Maybe a chance to get to know each other better. Regardless, as the afternoon turns to early evening, you have some opportunities to fill out the rest of your day. Hammer Strike, what would you like to do?
I believe once Spice gets his audio solved, there was talk of the temple.
Ah, okay.
The temple tour, so that'd be cool to focus on first while I get my shit together and maybe get a drink. If
I'm also gonna
we're not hearing ourselves, so
I'm also going to send you a brief message.
oh, secret supplies. I don't like this. It's weird. Oh, are those still going on? Also, Spice, are you with us? Are you in the land of the living?
Okay, so say what? That happened. That's probably going to be happening before the temple opens.
Okay.
Hello?
Hello.
Okay.
Oh, yes.
Dealing with, 3 blackouts. Just one after the other.
Oh no.
Good old rolling blackouts.
And now my Discord's being fucky. So, okay then.
Dear listeners, in the event of future complications, this may be a short session.
Oh no. Don't say that.
No,
Suddenly
it's
everyone's
fine.
power goes.
Honestly,
It is fine.
I don't think it's going to be that bad. I hope.
I thought you were going with in the event of Spice's departure, the role of Spice will be played.
Not that bad.
I'll just deal with how fucky Discord's being. But yeah.
Well, it's called Love Dotha, so you're all good.
Alright.
Just let us know.
Right, so you wanted us to do the temple. So that's later on tonight. Is there anything anyone would like to do right now within the next few hours before then? Any discussions? Any roleplay? Anything?
Well, besides the crafting that was done, like, well, roll-wise sorted last session, last week, brain words, whatever. Velen was probably going to take Vladimir to the Ichthyosaur shows.
Oh, right, okay.
Would anyone like to join?
How many hours was that?
What's that?
This is before, like, I think it's just the period of time before the temple opens. So between the races and
If I have 3 hours before we go, because Jar at that moment would have done some of her spells, which considerably was cut in half. So 3 hours.
Okay, so that'd be easy enough to do. That's in the that'll be in the early evening as the sun's setting.
Okay, and so she would probably have enough time to doing 2 spells to probably tag along.
Okay. So you sort of make your way out into the Itzil streets as your guide is easily asking around. You're guided towards a place near the beachside, a small lagoon, if you will. And you step into among a number of other crowds that are sort of attending similar performances here. You step out into some sort of open-air amphitheatre made from, carved from stone into the cliffs that encircles this sort of modestly sized lagoon. And you can see a lively scene is unfolding before your eyes here. The stone steps are meticulously carved from the surrounding red stone cliffs, guiding your descent into the seating area. The atmosphere is abuzz with excitement as the noble families and locals have gathered to witness the upcoming spectacle. What's up here, dude? Oh, there we go.
If I seem a little off kilter, I apologize. I've been moving stuff around today. All been rather panicked. It's texting.
You can see the among the crowd. You notice indeed a fair share of younger individuals. Their animated conversations filled with anticipation. The seating area itself is it's not cramped by any means. You can see it's made to for both comfort and visual splendor. The tiered stone steps are adorned with these intricate carvings depicting mythical sea creatures that provide ample space for the enthusiastic audience. You can see colourful textiles that cascade gracefully along the edge of the steps. Vibrant patterns reflecting the rich hues of the dynasty's various themes that you've seen throughout Itzil here. However, you can't help but notice the intriguing absence of valuable and colourful tapestries in the lower seating areas.
Splash Zone.
You can see lush tropical plants and vibrant blossoms that are strategically placed around the amphitheatre, creating a natural boundary that separates this space from the bustling streets of Itzil. And you can smell the aromatic scents of exotic flowers that are intermingling with the refreshing sea breeze. Now this lagoon isn't entirely enclosed. It is you just see the sort of shallow lagoon which stretches out to the sea before you, the ocean of the Actarian Gulf. And you can see that it's captivating crystal clear waters that shimmer under the radiant sun. And you can see within its depths a vibrant aquatic ecosystem thrives. The waters are that crystal clear. You can see large shoals of fish dancing among the coral reefs, vibrant scales glistening like gemstones. But what truly catches your attention are the remarkably large fish-like creatures darting through the water. Sleek forms gliding with grace and agility. It's difficult to see what they are from the distance currently. But at the heart of this lagoon, at the very centre, a platform emerges from is sort of placed in just above the water's surface. This small carved pillar of rock that just about pierces the surface, acting as this stage for the upcoming performance. And its design seems purposefully carved to harmoniously blend with the natural surroundings, appearing as if it were merely just an extension of the lagoon itself. And your attention is momentarily diverted as a captivating sight unfolds before you. One of the fish-like creatures approaches this stone platform. Distinctive markings and what looks like this long beak-like mouth. And you can see, or rather you hear, a series of drums begin to play.
Oh, I don't have Sirenscape.
Yes.
Like, where's the drums?
That would be useful.
Make sure you got Sirenscape up, everyone.
It's the quietest drums in the known world. I am loaded.
So a series of drums begins to rattle to signify the end of some sort of warm-up performance, and you can see an individual dressed in an elaborate ceremonial outfit with their hair meticulously tied into a bun steps forward with a flourish, and she produces a woven basket filled with fish and ceremoniously hands one out, and a sharp whistle cuts through the air, and with a skillful throw she throws the fish, soars high into the sky, and then suddenly the fish-like creature bursts from the water, sleek body twisting and turning in this mesmerizing display of agility, and the creature gracefully catches the fish in its beak before disappearing back into the depths. The clang of a gong causing a spray of water to cascade towards the lower seating area, where delighted screams and laughter erupt from the drenched spectators. The applause that follows resonates throughout the amphitheatre as... actually, whereabouts would you like to sit? Would you like to sit in the splash zone, or would you like to sit...
the splash zone,
yeah,
like
okay.
just above it, so you can still like see as
Okay.
much as you can without getting soaked.
So you choose
I have
the
something.
more comfortable seating areas.
Yeah, the middle bit.
You do notice that a very excited Vladimir is sitting, a couple rows forward, deliberately in the splash zone.
Fucking rascal. I'll sit like a
Horrified.
row or two back then.
Yeah. And yeah, you can see where the water has sort of reached its limit here, and you sit you do take your seat just behind that.
I'm just picturing like the seats have been permanently stained because of all the water that's constantly.
Yeah. There is a
Yes, that's where the water will be.
there is a noticeable dark. So it's like
The wear and staining.
yeah.
The wear and tear of
struggling
water.
struggling for the words. So as the echoes of applause from the warm-up performance fade away, a hushed silence descends upon the amphitheatre, signalising the commencement of the main event. The resonant melody of traditional Tosian music once more fills the air, accompanied by this gentle rhythm of drums and enchanting melodies of flutes and other wind instruments. As the music sets the stage, a knowledgeable narrator, you could say, emerges, pressing a small glowing stone to his throat, his voice carrying throughout the amphitheatre with clarity and enthusiasm. And with captivating storytelling and educational anecdotes, the narrator provides a glimpse into the fascinating lives of ichthyosaurs. Or at least now you know what they're called, ichthyosaurs. He shares information about different species of the different species present in the lagoon, revealing their unique characteristics, life cycles, and behaviours. He even tells of how at certain times of the year at night, one can witness the beautiful light shows of bioluminescence that cause the lagoon to glow with a bright blue light. Names like Zula, the nimble acrobat, and Tlea, the elegant songstress, are introduced as some of the performing ichthyosaurs, creating this connection between the audience and some of these creatures. It's very performative, bit corny in places, but charming in its own way. As the performance unfolds, moments of pause and intermission allow the narrator to engage the audience further, providing fascinating facts about ichthyosaur migration patterns. Even Vladimir tries to get involved as well. There's also information about specialised hunting techniques, their intricate social dynamics within their communities, visual aids such as fantastically carved murals wrought in the cliff face, and great magical illusions to enhance the educational experience, allowing the audience to get a better understanding of the complexities of these ancient marine reptiles. And the performers and their ichthyosaur partners seamlessly integrate these segments into their routines. They showcase the natural behaviours and abilities of these creatures, highlighting their agility, intelligence, adaptability, and through very captivating demonstrations, the audience learns about the unique ways in which these creatures navigate their underwater world, communicate with each other, care for their young. In addition to the awe-inspiring acrobatics and displays, as you see a couple of performers dressed in these sort of tightly stitched hide leathers, kind of sail along the snouts of these creatures. Not too dissimilar to how you saw Ida perform with Thule in her whale form. The show includes segments that showcase the collaborative efforts between Tahosian beast tamers and these creatures. And they demonstrate how they work together with them, building trust, fostering some strong bonds based on mutual respect. And the narrator also sort of goes into detail for visitors to Itzil from overseas about how creating a bond between beast and man has been this age-old tradition and a staple of culture here in the dynasty. And he then shares this intriguing and ancient tale from the kingdom of Khajitar, how do you call it? Client kingdom here in the Empire. I'm not sure the exact verbiage, but kingdom of Khajitar being apparently part of the wider Tahosian dynasty. About how this kingdom had a legendary bond with a fearsome dragon turtle named Tartolin. He speaks of how the first settlers of Khajitar faced with the devastation caused by Tartolin's wrath, chose a different path. Instead of slaying the creature, they offered it gold and treasure as a gesture of peace. He goes on to narrate how over time this arrangement evolved into a harmonious partnership nurtured by the shamans of Zalazos, the goddess of destruction and rebirth. The shamans who revered Tartolin as a force of nature. And from that lineage, Torga, the most recent progeny, now calls the Gulf of Actuin her home, captivating the imagination of locals and visitors alike. He weaves this captivating tale of how Torga occasionally graces the harbour of Tectaros with her presence, beckoned by the resounding call of the great gong rung by the high priest of Zalazos. He makes mention of the Circle of Fins, a collection of fishing guilds across Tanzania that eagerly offers copious amounts of fish as a tribute to this powerful and majestic creature. It is said that Torga speaks solely with the High Priest of Zalazos, who is believed to share the closest bond with her. The final note of this music blends seamlessly with thunderous applause that fills the amphitheatre. The performance and the performers take their final bows, their faces filled with pride and gratitude. The educational and awe-inspiring ichthyosaur shows, attempting to sort of leave this everlasting presence on the audience. And with that, eventually, the drums come to this final climactic crescendo, and with one final display of acrobatic prowess, all three of the ichthyosaurs jump at once. All three of the performers riding their snouts as they plunge into the water. The crowd goes wild, and they all take their final bows.
Question. Do they sell towels here, or do they give towels out? I imagine a lot of people get soaked.
There's plenty of towels provided. Vladimir is absolutely soaked.
Yeah, I assume that. If they were
And
to
Jar
get
would just-
she's
soaked
just been
than
enjoying
anyone else.
every moment of it.
The job
Yeah.
would just simply use precipitation. Just no
There you
need
go.
for towels.
Well, I didn't think a show would be so educational.
That was amazing.
They usually are. Did you enjoy yourself? I could see.
Do you think that tale was real?
What about the what was it, Torga?
Uh-huh.
Probably. I mean, I think we've heard something along those lines. There's nothing specific.
Vellum, do you remember that down in the oceans when we were looking for the pearls? We saw something huge.
Oh yeah, do you think that was it?
I think that was it.
Huh. I thought it'd be closer to Tectaros, but I guess it's gotta wander around somewhere.
We were in the Gulf, in the Octuan Gulf, so would make sense.
Vladmir's eyes go wide. You saw Torga?
Kind of. It was like a huge shadow over us as it swam by, and we were fighting this big fish thing, and we'd beaten it, but Torga just swam by and just chomped it up and go.
Wow. You think if we go to Tectaros we'll be able to see Torga?
Maybe. I have no idea what the tradition is, but they have a way to at least like communicate with it.
If there's any druids here, possibly yes.
Well, from all them stories, it sounds like the city has a connection with it.
I mean, they literally live with Titanous animals. You would think that.
Big fish turtle things, yeah.
You notice as all the crowds are beginning to sort of filter out down to the theatre. There is this small gathering near the shore of the lagoon, where a number of the performers are sort of being asked questions, giving out answers. You can see a number of the ichthyosaurs are sort of swimming nearby, and one of the performers is sort of handing out small fish to a number of nearby gathered kids, children, other younger folk who are just kind of looking to get a bit closer to the ichthyosaurs to feed them.
You want to head over, Vanny? See if you can feed one.
She's already on her way over.
You are
that was
too
quick.
slow there.
Yeah, really should have figured. Come on. And he's gonna
Yeah,
head off after her.
you be following suit.
Careful, you might be a snake.
Vladimir kind of very patiently waits her turn until she herself is given a rather large fish to sort of throw towards the ichthyosaurs. She's gonna make another hand check.
Nat 1 slaps the drink up with the fish.
Throws herself.
The fish is there, but she's gone.
Oh my god.
She pulls the grenade and throws the pin.
Basically.
She kind of hovers her hand near the edge of the lagoon, under supervision of one of the handlers, of course. She kind of waits for a moment, and you watch as the ichthyosaur kind of gets closer and closer, and This is just this look of amazement on Valdemir as she rather the ichthyosaur just sort of opens its jaws and just lets her just chuck it in. As the fish sort of hangs there for a moment and sort of places its beak on the edge of the lagoon, out in the open above the water. And Vladimir kind of looks towards the handler, looks back to the ichthyosaur in amazement. And the handler nods, and you watch as she sort of very gingerly reaches out a hand and just rubs the end of its snout. And it's like the look of wonder on her face is palpable. Big old smile as she looks at the both of you.
And Vellum is not quite as grinny, but he's definitely got a smile on his face.
Jared does have a smile. Just absolutely beaming.
And then suddenly the ichthyosaur kind of turns around with a splash, just soaking Vladimir again. And just swims off back into the lagoon.
Just trying to stifle a giggle there.
I think he liked me.
Animals can be unpredictable.
Oh, I think you have a way with them. And presentation once more. Don't want to go back soaking wet.
You see the sides of Valdir's cheeks, the fur on them.
Might want to brush those down. Jared just brushes the sides of Valdir's cheeks.
Thank you. What else is there to do here?
Dunno. Let's go find out.
Okay. And she kind of happily skips alongside.
Because of crowds, I imagine, because this is probably a popular attraction, he is gonna like pick her up on shoulders.
Okay, there you go.
Keep her out of danger.
Out of trampling distance, yes.
Right.
Literally anything can happen.
Okay. So, Angus, did you want to discuss something with Sal?
I did, but I need to see if Bucky's up for it.
Well, you're very far away from the mic.
You are indeed far away.
Yes, I am. Yeah, hold on.
I'm present, by the way, but I've been sneezing kind of a bit, so
Oh no, a normal biological function.
I might have a cold coming.
Yeah, which is what we were talking about. Yeah, it all depends if...
I'm good.
Well then, since those ones left, it makes it a difficult. I guess we'll be because you're in this one.
I forgot, sorry.
Right, I purpose.
No, that's fine. What's that?
I forgot, sorry.
No, well, yes, I heard that. What did you say? What did you say, Jenna?
Oh, just to say, I have to turn you right up.
Oh, yeah, hold on, there you go. Yeah, okay, so they fucked off. So, Angus is just sort of waving goodbye, I suppose, as they're going away, and he's going, just turn over to Sal. Well, you know, I've got an idea. It's a bit of a wonky one, but I think you might like it.
When you phrase an idea like that, you call me morbidly curious as to what you're thinking.
Morbidly curious as to what you're thinking. Alright, now that I called you that weird thing, can I tell you about it?
not gonna tell anyone.
Well, I wouldn't care if you did. Imagine it's like your thing that you use. It's your cannon, right? Except instead of just shooting bits of metal and lead at him, it's really hot, like liquid hot. Like the breath of a dragon.
Are you suggesting what I'm thinking you are?
You know, let's head back to the quarters, because there's a little more detail. You know, did I ever tell you about this dream I've been having?
With that, he's gonna start walking over towards, back towards home.
Alright.
With a very hefty sack of one bets.
Nice.
And so
yep,
will, of course, follow and listen.
Yeah, we can indeed pan over to the resort and go and do that.
And of course, Sal will listen to Angus explain his dream. Because I'm assuming a bit of groundwork is good.
Yes. So he'll just briefly go over it, some of the dreams that he's been having, and what has happened in dream therapy.
You know, and then there's these lakes of... It looks like lava, but it's just molten metal. And there's ruins all about the place. And it had me thinking, you know, a time or two I've splashed around in it when I wake up. What if I had a way to heat metal and throw it at someone? Eh? And it would just be this hot, terrible thing that would just spew right through them or over them or just scald them to hell. Maybe even puncture them. I'm not sure. I just like the idea of just it. I'm trying to think of something and I'm torn. I don't know if it should just go over a wide big area just in front of me to get down an entire line of gobos, or if it should be a powerful jet of molten slag that punches right through.
I may have an idea for that.
Oh.
The base mechanic of it would be the same. Something to propel the material and something to superheat it in an instant. Now, the real difference would be at the nozzle area, the front. No nozzle, it would throw it out like you would throw out a handful of sand. It just goes everywhere. Short range, all over the place. But good for like clearing out stuff. With the right nozzle, you'd have more of a precision tool. A liquid metal cutter, for lack of a better word.
So it's kind of like your mouth and you change the lip shape and you whistle or you just spit.
Exactly.
Clever girl, I see.
I've played with a few ideas of my own. Some of them are quite similar.
Let me just go ahead and
And he just pushes a bunch of stuff over. Slams down a piece of paper.
Right, so if we start doing like this,
And he'll start sketching up a plan. And I imagine that conversation will go a little bit.
Yeah.
So, by the time, and just a spice message, by the time they probably get back from their thing, you know, we'll be well into designing this thing.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Just in the common area. So that way Dejar can jump in as Spice Manager.
All right. So, as I imagine, it's at this point as you're kind of midway through the plotting and planning stages and trying to draw out this blueprint. It's at that moment that Dejar, Vladimir, and Velum re-enter the lounge. Vladimir has this great big beaming smile on her face as well.
You're
Someone looks happy.
Yes, we-
Theosaurus.
Ichthyosaurus. It is called the Ichthyosaurus, dear. Just call them.
Big fish.
Yes, just go simple as as you can make it.
I'm breaking it down into little chunks, Vaddy. Ichthyosaur.
And she just kind of starts trailing off.
Don't just fish show. Just fish show.
Now that's something I can understand too.
Fish?
Right, so you saw some fish.
Big ones with big beaks.
A fish,
Fish
with beaks?
Big long beaks. They great big flips in the air as well. I got to feed one.
A fish with a beak.
I've heard of
That sounds like a stewing fish.
Angus.
Hmm?
What?
Y'all just leans over. What are you two working on?
Oh,
But besides Angus here having cooking for a brain, well,
He's gonna kind of look to first Sal, then to Jar, back to Sal, and then to Vadima.
can I say it with kids in the room?
As he then looks to Vellum for
I have
confirmation.
no idea what you're saying, but if you have to ask that, then I'm gonna say let's head off over to the balcony, buddy.
Okay. She kind of gallops off.
And Bellum will go
I'm
with.
gonna have to teach you some more friendly language.
I know plenty of friendly language.
And he takes out his flask and sets it on the table.
That's all the language I need to know. But now that the kids are out of the room, I'm creating a machine that boils people alive with liquid metal.
And how did this idea
Specific
come about?
goblins.
Of course.
I've been having dreams and nightmares. Got the idea last time we went over there to that dream therapy, you see.
You mentioned
Big ol'-
some. You mentioned someone's name last time we talked about it.
Oh, yeah,
Has-
yeah, my great top power grandpappy. I had a dream
Morg.
about him.
He seems a little reserved about it, but definitely more open than last time. Kind of goes back to sketching a little bit.
I had the idea. I was inspired by the thunderous storms over top of volcano.
Would you mind a short story about your ancestor, Kazmorg?
What do you need me to tell you?
No. What I'm going to tell you.
You're gonna tell me about my ancestors. Alright, be good.
And he grabs the flask he set down.
So I was just looking between Dejar and Angus, and there's a feeling like, oh, this is either gonna be interesting or terrible.
One hand's got the flask, the other is going for his new smoking pipe.
Alright, regale me. Tell me what I don't already know.
You can tell he's cocky, but he's also being very friendly with it.
Most of you know about the War of the Undying.
Oh, family stuff.
Oh, I think Spice Cat family interrupted.
Yeah.
Yep. Speaking of family interruptions, what is fucking Vellum doing with Vadima?
Sable left for about 10-something minutes.
Oh no.
Cool, tucking her in. Got it. Okay. Now I just have the little mental image of him over there, like, right, so this Thoris went to the market. And he's just reading her a little bedtime stories.
It's like fucking 5-6 in the afternoon. It's
Listen, after
Yeah,
such a
big
day,
day.
very
you'd be
early
tired.
bedtime.
Yeah, alright, she went and she saw the show and she played ball and there was a race and it's just like, she had a big day, okay? If the kid will fall asleep at like 6 o'clock in the afternoon,
Or like going to a trance.
I mean, what's the difference?
I mean, I personally wouldn't want a kid to go to sleep with that because that means she'll wake up when we're asleep.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
She
I'll be
usually
like
does
3
that.
a.m. and like, I'm ready to go, and just like, fuck.
No,
Why have you got all this energy?
go back to sleep.
That's the curse of having someone in the party that has trance instead of sleep.
And it had to be an energetic child. It's okay. I only need 4 hours, but sometimes I only need 2. Is she just fucking with that thing?
It's like listening to the
There's
cat.
a reason Vellum looks so tired now.
Yeah. It's like listening to the cat running around the house at like 2 a.m. You just hear
Oh,
clopping things.
she'll just get the zoomies, but
Yeah.
hoof clops.
Yeah, yeah. It's even
Like,
worse.
fuck. I don't know. I feel like
I
Liska would
imagine
be
they're
used to it.
half of them are hooked glops, the other half are her like hands scraping on the floor and
Oh,
the
yeah,
walls
yeah.
or whatever. She's just, full tilt.
Yeah, yeah. Just on all fours, just zooming around the lounge. It's worse because the floor's stone as well. It echoes.
Oh
Yep.
god.
Yeah, like I said, I feel like Liska would be used to it since she grew up around that. It actually would probably remind her of home a bit, so she'll probably have even better sleep.
I'm gonna have to invent earplugs.
I'm pretty sure those exist. Actually, I don't know, because I feel like the people that would make them would be dwarves, but then again, dwarves don't strike me at all to be the kind of people that would worry about ear protection. They'll just be like, an old dwarf be like,
Why do I need to invent earplugs? Right? I'll just fold my sideburns over.
Oh yeah, there you go.
I'm right as rain.
I feel like that's not how that works.
It's, I mean, so sorry. When you grow enough ear hair, they function as their own earplugs.
Yeah, but then you can't hear.
Yeah, that's why there's the old dwarf that goes, "Huh!"
Only if you breathe them
It's not just a
correctly.
hearing horn, he's just pushing the hair out of the way.
Angus and Sayan, what are the details of this contraption that you're coming up with? Like,
Oh boy, so over top of the little sketch, they have a few different sketches and diagrams I imagine together. Angus has a
designs.
pile of looks to be stone and clay that he's been shaping to get to be like a little mock example that's 1/10 the size, itty bitty thing. Well, what if it's like this, and it's looking to be quite a large thing that in our world we might understand it kind of like you might imagine sort of like a naval cannon kind of gun that's scaled down, large, thick, round, not quite the mortar, but if it was a bit extended, and
So,
it seems to
like-
perhaps be attached to like the thought of a little backpack maybe, or it's got like a reservoir, and he has a bunch of little square rectangles nearby.
It's like a sort of underarm hand cannon sort of thing.
Pretty much. This thing looks to be like it's probably either a two-handed thing, or it's something that maybe you could use with one hand, but it'd have to be braced against a shield. Much in the way that you would brace a lance on a specifically made part of your armor to couch it. You know, maybe you'd have to do that over a tower shield to get it to hold up, because it just seems like it's really unwieldy.
It also looks heavy as shit.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, you know, it probably would be no issue to a dwarf, because you know, dwarfs are very compact, very strong, very much.
Dense mobile tripod.
Yeah, low center of gravity, great for bracing with hand cannons.
Yeah. Probably there's going to be like various drawings from Sao about manners of refilling an operation and like slightly more greater detail.
Yeah, meanwhile, I think Angus's drawings are much more conceptual. They are more external of the idea of what is the general form that it would need to be to fulfill the function, right? While I'm guessing hers would be more, what are the functions internally within that form? And we're kind of two faces of the same coin.
Yeah. It's the difference between like having a visual design versus knowing how the internals work. Because there's one thing
all
Sao
Angus's
likes
ideas
to
are just runic, but I imagine yours are more mechanical.
sort of. Sao does like to take a mechanical twist to it to lessen the need for magical effects. Like feeding a bunch of metal shards and scrap, like small dust pieces almost, into the chamber that then fires it out.
Ah, scrap cannon.
Kind of.
Molten scrap.
That's at least one idea of hers. Waste not, want not.
True.
Angus specifically used the word slag, which are the sparks and impurities that come off during blacksmithing that is known to burn many apprentice.
Ah.
Or set up near the fire.
So you're trying to make like some sort of slag cannons, is what I'm understanding. A handheld
Basically
slag
looking at
cannon.
a handheld slag cannon. Maybe part cannon that shoots in a jet, part flamethrower in a cone area. You know, he doesn't have a whole lot of range as a dwarf, 1, and as a melee cleric, 2. And the spells that he does have that are ranged or AoE either kind of suck, or are very high level, and those are slots he would really rather reserve for, you know, restorative magics in case somebody gets absolutely fucked and we need to remove curse or do a restoration on someone. So if you can make something that, well, he has to make a special expensive ammo.
So, as I would imagine Dejar suddenly becomes lost in her books for the meantime.
Just over there, let me find the story.
Yeah, there you go. Shall we pan over to actually Liska?
It's Kronka too.
Yeah, Liska and Kronka. What are you both doing right now?
Should I get the Sega Bass Fishing soundtrack up for us?
I mean, I didn't necessarily know what the timeline on all this was, like when
This is
like
about
dinner would be, or like what's happening right now.
I'd say you're pretty close to that time in the evening. It's about it's just gone past. It's at sunset right now. So you've got maybe an hour to kill before that dinner with Tuli and Ida.
Alright. I mean, she's probably just gonna go back to the room, take a shower to get all the, sweat and dust off of her from the race. And probably, did they say where they wanted to meet up?
Ida said at the dockyard.
Okay. So yeah, I guess about an hour. Yeah, she'll take a shower, get all clean, dried up, all fancy and whatnot, and then that'll probably take 30 something minutes because she's a big gal. And then yeah, I guess she'll just wear her nicest clothes and just head on down. Just kind of like slowly walk, meander a bit,
Okay.
and get there.
All right. So we will come back to that. Gronka, what are you doing?
Well, after the show, I'm sure he got a real desired fish. So he's probably gonna do a little fishing.
Okay.
So I guess, let's see, it's 1d6.
So you trying to fish in the lagoon?
Maybe.
Is that a yes or a no?
Yes.
So
And he hits.
That's actually a success.
holy shit. Okay. So as you're attempting to, well, you are soon discovered trying to fish in this this private lagoon here, and one of the performance approaches. Excuse me, I'm afraid you're not allowed to fish here. You might want to try the docks.
Oh.
And it's oh no, what's this? What's a D20?
Let's see.
Got a nat 20 on a d20.
Oh,
Yeah. Oh, Jesus. Wait, hang on. I'm just typing up X's in the chat. Wait, hang on. I'm gonna deselect this bitch. Okay, so. Alright. So as he says that, Grunk is gonna like start to reel in a little like and then like as he does that he gets a catch and he's like oh, and he pulls it up and it is a silver fish with no, it's a goldfish with silver stripes and well
No, please put that back. The lagoon is not to be fished in.
where is this?
What does it do, Branka?
Let's see. This tasty fish provides a day's worth of nourishment to one creature that eats it, and grants 2d10 temporary hit points to that creature. The fish loses their properties and rots if it's not eaten within the next 24 hours of being caught.
So, this individual clearly thinks that you've just taken this fish from the from the this what appears to be some sort of ecological preserve in the lagoon the lagoon, and you can see he's sort of panicking a little bit. He's a bit frustrated as well. Would you mind putting that back, please? This is not a fishing spot.
Grunk is gonna start talking deepling to him, or undertongue to him.
God's above us. He's you can see he's making his way up the amphitheater towards a Zacazel guard.
Just
What
gonna
do
like,
you do?
they're gonna shrug. He's gonna shrug his shoulder and then he's gonna jump down into the water.
Okay.
And then it's gonna walk away because he can walk on water.
You could also technically fly.
He can't technically fly, but I think he forgot. At least for now.
You kind of look over your shoulder and you see the performer's sort of gesture wave towards the guard here. The guard comes over, and the performer kind of points towards where you were.
And now Grog is like halfway across the lagoon.
And there's this dumbfounded look on his face of pure confusion between both him and the guard.
Yeah, well, Grunker's gonna walk there. He's gonna like look down and see if he sees anything interesting.
Make a perception check.
Oh boy, I love those.
I feel like Grunka is the type of character who, at first, seems like a joke, but then you realize he just doesn't care.
Yeah.
And you're holding that fish with you.
Yeah, he got it
How's
like
it going?
flung over his shoulder. He got it like flung over his shoulder.
You see this swift dart of movement beneath the water as a shape begins to rapidly ascend towards you.
Oh no!
Make a dexterity saving throw, please.
Ah, sweet! I got advantage on those.
Yes, you do.
Let's see.
He saw the shadow. He's aware.
I am aware. Oh no!
Oh no!
Wait, what?
The fish is
2
weighing me
ones.
down.
Holy shit.
So,
Are you aware?
I mean, okay, from Grunka's perspective, I'm just gonna point this out. He would never expect something to come below. He's not used to it.
It's harder. Why?
I love the idea of him. He looks down, sees a shadow, and then like, oh, there's a shadow, and he looks up because it's a shadow.
What's above me?
Yeah, what's above me is shadow.
You
Keep your eyes blurred.
you kind of look up to see where the shadow is coming from, and it's at that moment as you feel this yanking on your arm, as a large fish-like shape breaches the water, sending you toppling over onto your ass. You're knocked prone, and you kind of try to stand back up, but the goldfish is no longer in your hand. And you look up to see this large beaked fish with the goldfish in its hand, and comes back down.
Hand?
Sorry,
Like
it's
mouth,
hand,
you mean?
mouth, not hand.
I was gonna say, like, what the fuck kind of fish is this?
Yeah.
It's got hands now. It's about to
Oh,
throw
no.
them.
Oh,
It's,
no,
Grunka, you have to noodle it.
Do
As
not
shape.
noodle the fucking.
As it comes careening back down towards the surface of the water, you have like a split second to do something. What do you want to do? Before, very likely, the fish is lost forever.
Gurka will pull up his hood, and he's gonna swim.
Oh, okay.
You little fuck. And then he jumps down into the water.
Okay, this is happening now. Let me get some
Yes.
combat music up.
Give him my fish bag.
Please don't kill the attractions.
I love that anytime Grunka does something, it's like a fucking
A small
like
adventure.
Tales of Bossing Say.
Yeah. I love it.
It's literally, oh, I guess this is happening now.
Literally anything.
I guess I'm gonna fist fight the fish now. Okay, let's go.
I'll throw hands with the fucking ichthyosaur.
Yeah.
I don't know what's more unbelievable. This party and the shit we've gone through, or just the shenanigans Grunk has been up to while we've been traveling.
I love the idea of someone going to SeaWorld, like, and then just getting into a fight with Shamu. It's just like,
Has anyone seen the new DuckTales?
woo.
Yeah.
Oh.
So, for those who don't know, there's like a fucking rope
with Launchpad that he'll just randomly go off on some adventure. You never know what it is. You just know how it starts and how it ends, and it's always something dramatic. It's just like he comes back in a suit of armor with a trident at one point. It's just like, oh, what happened to you? Nothing. Just catching up with some friends. Yeah, that's
Grunka.
So,
You remember the
as
time Grunka found the Akteshi greatsword?
I did.
Oh yeah. So as
He
Grunka,
already has.
as you follow underneath the lagoon's waves, diving after it. Actually, what's the speed of this thing? There we go. Let's move it a little way. What's your movement speed with that thing?
Let's see. It gives me a swim speed of. Where is it? Inventory. Why are you like this? Why do I collect so much garbage?
Your own fault, mate.
It is. Let's see. It gives me a swimming speed of 60.
Oh shit! So you're actually not overtaking it, but keeping up with it. These things are very fast underwater.
Yeah. And they can breathe underwater.
You are just as fast.
I have a question.
Yep.
What about his barbarian movement speed increase?
I don't know because this is like an effect of a magic item. It just says that I have a swim speed of 60.
Yeah,
Normally my movement speed is 40.
Yeah. So
Yeah, but the other one does increases your land speed. It just increases your movement speed.
That's a very good question. What is the actual? Let's see. What's the actual?
Does it, if it says walking speed, that's one thing. But if it says movement speed, all your movement speeds go up because it has to account for races that can fly.
Let's see.
This is
What
why
is
monks'
the
fly speed are so
actual?
insane.
So while
Your
wearing
speed
this cloak,
increases by 10 feet while you aren't wearing heavy armor.
Did it say movement or walking?
It just says your speed is increased.
oh shit!
I'm not wearing
Yeah,
armor again.
You're faster than it before you dash.
Cloak of the Manta Ray, and you have a swimming speed of 60 feet.
It just says you have a swimming speed.
Yeah.
This is legit.
I think that would work, yeah.
Oh shit! Okay then. So
I'm very angry and I'm very fast. you
you careen through the water. This thing is incredibly agile, and it's taking these sharp twists and turns through the lagoon, but you're keeping up with it. Let's see. This would be a grapple check, I'll say. So
This is a Grunka when he's swimming. Let's see. Grapple check. That's let's see, how did that work? That's an attack, right?
no, that's just your athletics versus its athletics or acrobatics.
Yes.
Right.
15.
Oh.
You kind of grab a hold of the fish, but a tight turn through a deep coral reef sends you sort of careening and tumbling off into the water before you kind of reorient yourself and begin pursuing it once again.
Jenner.
Yep.
I'm gonna rage.
Okay.
I'm gonna get very angry at this fish.
And
Will I frenzy? Yes. I am very mad at this fish.
Wow.
You little shit.
okay. So
I imagine after Grunka is like a what's it called? The thing where there's like air around the hot object in water. What is it called again?
um,
the Leidenfrost effect?
Leidenfrost effect. That's what it's called.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like after him. It's like that because he's very warm when he rages.
oh yeah, there you go. As
I like the idea that he rages and he screams in rage, and then on the surface, just a bubble
There's
comes
the
up
little
and
bubbles.
pops, and it hears his like
Yeah,
broken scream.
you can hear him yell in the bubble. Yeah.
Oh, it's very
yes,
funny.
I love it.
Yeah.
So,
So
as-
yeah, he's gonna chase after that thing.
All right, make me another grapple check to try and snatch that fish out of its beak.
See, and now I have advantage because
Yes,
it's
you do.
athletics.
14. With that, you watch it dart underneath one of the coral reefs that forms this sort of archway, as it's seemingly attempting to throw you off. These things seem to be deceptively smart creatures, and you. However, you in this moment are much too angry to even give a shit, and you barrel underneath hoping to cut it off, and you meet it there at that point, and with a single tear you rip the fish from its beak, and it feels the hot sort of boiling aura around you, enough to frighten it off, and it careens off into the depths of the ocean.
Yeah, and before it goes, I'm gonna give it a punch.
Oh no! Okay.
Just a normal punch with my fist.
Are you okay? No,
Yeah, I'm just gonna give it like a little That'll teach you.
So, what type of punch? Like
Just a unarmed attack, I guess. Just a fist attack.
Are you going for damage or non-lethal?
I mean,
choice.
I don't really want to kill it. I just want to hit it and be like, yeah, it'll teach you, dumbass. Don't steal.
Okay.
Non-lethal.
All right, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, I hope this thing doesn't have like less than like, I don't know, what's a punch? It's like 1d4.
It's 1 plus your strength mod.
Yeah, you don't have unarmed attack.
Yeah, so it's a roll. Let's see, it's a.
But you are raging, so you do get flat damage on top of it.
That is
Yeah,
correct.
You could kill it.
Yeah.
It could. It depends how much HP this large fish has.
Because I do think that.
Yes, rage does give you a bonus damage.
Oh no, I'm just contemplating. I think in the rules, massive damage still kills you even if it's not lethal.
Yeah, I believe so.
I have no clue.
I think it does, because you can set somebody to 0, right? But if you still dealt so much damage that it would have done the remainder of their maximum life, you can still kill them. A god can still give you a flick on the forehead and you can still explode, right? Even if it didn't mean to, even if it wasn't trying to hurt you, it's just the power scales are so different.
I need to double check that because it might say it might have specific verbiage that says you set them to 0 instead. Kind of like with half orcs, it says instead of falling to 0, you go to 1.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, sorry, continue. It might be a moot point anyway. So
Yeah, so with unarmed attack, do I add? There's no. I have no proficiency with my fist, right? Or do I add my
You do.
proficiency?
Yeah.
I do.
So-
Okay.
everyone
so-
has proficiency with
yeah.
them.
1d20 plus strength plus prof.
It's just monks
It
get.
used to be that
C
way, but it's-
plus.
I don't know how my fists work, guys.
I'm not proficient with a fish.
17.
17
Yeah, yeah, that hits.
Alright, and then it's a, let's see, roll 1d, what was it, 1d1 plus my strength.
So,
Or 1. It's just no. It should be a flat number. So what's your strength mod?
18, so it's 4.
So it's 5 plus what flat bonus you have for raging.
That's 2, or is it 3 now? I don't remember.
it might be 3. Double check.
So Grunga dealing 8 damage out here just punching people.
Yeah, let's see, rage damage. What level are we? We're level 12.
You would do instant
Actually,
max damage, kill a commoner.
Yeah, just
Yes. Let's see, we're
Or a
level
level
12
1 wizard.
plus 3.
Doesn't take much to kill a level 1 wizard.
It doesn't really, and it hurts me.
What? It's a 5 because. Oh no, it's flat damage, right?
Yeah,
Plus 5 damage, plus 3.
Right, I'm confused. So
It's your strength plus.
yes, 1, so that's 5, plus my rage, so that's 3, so it's 8.
8.
just 8 damage, just slap.
Yeah. I'm confuse myself. I don't really do unarmed attacks.
So you
I think
you catch it by one of its back fins, and you give its hind I don't know what you call it, the tail fin a mighty just wallop at the back of your hand,
Oh god,
Slap
Brooke
his
just
bitch.
slapped down.
and you feel a crack,
Oh,
oh no.
and while the creature is still alive, it's badly injured, and it starts sort of having trouble swimming.
No.
Uh-oh.
And it's trying to desperately swim away from you as much as possible. We'll say swim speed reduced by half.
This poor animal.
I have a question.
shouldn't have stolen.
You thought you were feeding it.
No, it didn't.
Yeah, it did.
I don't know that.
Was out there in the water holding out fish for them to eat. You did the exact thing, the behavior that they were trained to do.
I have an int of 8. Be quiet.
No, that's fair.
It's fair.
All right, Granke, you have your fish. What are you doing now?
We're just gonna stop raging. He's gonna look at the fish, and that's like, I don't know. I guess it's like like the actual like gold silver fish is like now like scarred from the mark of the teeth. Then he pulled it out, and he's gonna look at the fish, and it's gonna the. How do you pronounce that again? Is it icy?
Ichthyosaur.
Ichthyosaur.
Damn, those old people didn't know what they were doing. The ichthyosaur. And he's gonna look at it. And he's gonna see that it's like a limping. And it's just gonna be like, alright, come here. And it's gonna take out the worst kid.
It just keeps trying to swim away from you. Make an animal handling check.
Damn.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, disadvantage because my
Yep.
my now fatigued self.
Yeah, it's the limp tail is sort of just slapping at your face in the water. What you doing?
It's best.
It's clearly terrified of you. What are you doing, Ronka?
What am I doing? I'm thinking. Which is never
It's
a
a
good
dangerous
sign.
pastime.
It is a very dangerous pastime, which I do with as little possible.
Are you just under the water, just trying to hold on to this thing?
Yeah. I mean, we're still underwater, right?
Yep. Okay. So make one more grapple check. I'll say this. I'll say with disadvantage on the ichthyosaur's part because it seems that you just broke its tail.
I also had disadvantage.
It has more disadvantage.
Yeah. It remains firm in your grasp.
Alright. We're just gonna, because he's holding it, he's now gonna force feed it the healing potion.
Okay. Okay.
Alright, we did it. We tried it the nice way. Now we're gonna do it the hard way.
It's beak-like jaws kind of gulping for air right now as it's trying to get as far away from you as possible. But you kind of pop the cork, let the potion sort of concoction mingle with the water near its mouth as it.
Yeah, it's gonna do the thing like when you try and give like a dog or a cat a pill, and you like it's gonna like hold it and then like shove the like the finger down its throat, but it's the bottle instead. It's gonna be like eat it.
You feel it sort of it's gulping mouth. You shut it closed, and you see the sort of beady eyes kind of looking around in your direction, darting here and there, and you feel this this writing of a bone in its shell, this subtle this subtle crunch as it comes back into place, and make another grapple check if you're still grappling it.
I mean, sure. It's pretty good.
Because it no longer has disadvantage. Oh no.
I think it's. I like to imagine that it's so shocked about what just happened that it doesn't really know what to do anymore.
It's like when divers sort of make sharks go limp.
Yeah, I rotated the idiot.
Yeah, it's like that in your grasp right now, and it's just it's very confused. It's very scared, clearly.
Yeah. You're just gonna look into one of his eyes, and in he's not gonna understand it, but Grungan doesn't know that. In Primordial, he's just gonna say, "Don't do that again, okay?"
You
and then it's gonna let it go.
You speak out this low guttural sort of as his boiling bubbles kind of burst from your mouth a little bit, and as you let it go, it just tears off out of the lagoon into the open ocean.
You're just gonna look after it and be like, "Man, what dumb animal!" And then it's gonna walk on the but it's gonna like look around and be like, "Wait, where am I?" And then it's gonna like,
you can see on the shore of the lagoon now, a couple more guards have arrived, trying to search for you.
Yeah, because it's gonna walk along the water, walk around the bottom of the water.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because it's still underground.
Right.
Does this pool like is it a SeaWorld type pool where it's like
It's a lagoon,
closed?
wasn't it?
It's a shallow lagoon that's open towards the ocean.
Oh,
Yeah.
I mean, Grunka, yeah, he can just fucking leave.
Yeah, it's gonna walk along the bottom of the ocean, look at things, and be like, "Oh, that's a jellyfish. I wonder if it tastes good."
Are you
Didn't.
able to breathe underwater?
Yes, with the
With the mantle.
the mantle gives me water breathing.
Oh, okay. So yeah, you can just take your time.
Yeah, you're just gonna like walk around and be like, "Oh, look, that's a jellyfish. I wonder if it tastes good." It didn't. And it's gonna just walk around and be like, "Oh, hey, look, that's a nice clamshell. I'm gonna take that. Oh, look, that's a rock.
Yeah.
I like rocks. This is my rock now."
So you spend the better part of a couple hours making your way across the reef
Something like that.
floor.
Yeah.
For I imagine
do a little sightseeing.
Yeah. I imagine at some point you kind of emerge on the beach, just walking out of the water.
Yeah, she's gonna walk out of the water with like the fish over his shoulder. that has like the bite marks of the ichthyosaur.
Your trophy, your well fought for trophy.
Dinner.
Grunka MD, natural wonder and curiosity.
Fish
Wow.
puncher.
So that was a thing that happened.
Yeah. And then she's gonna walk back to the hotel and probably get this thing cooked.
All right.
Oh,
Yeah.
Where
you back?
we are.
Yep.
Yes.
You see Grunka partially sopping wet,
Yeah,
holding his.
Yeah, he's absolutely soaked. He has a fish with bite marks over his shoulder, and he looks a little bit tired. He'll be like, "Oh, hello."
Hello. You look like a rightness.
Thanks.
What happened?
Oh, I just was fishing. Yurka holds up the fish that has very clear teeth and drag marks across its scales.
That's the
Don't question it.
I'm not gonna think about that. Instead, I'm gonna ask you, would you like that cooked spicy or extra spicy?
I don't even know why that's a question.
Okay.
Extra spicy. And Yurka's gonna like,
With the peppers.
yeah, Yurka's gonna take like a chunk out of it. He's gonna like tear a chunk out of it with his hands, and he's gonna like give it to Webby. Here you go, buddy.
And just
We're
mandibles
just gonna, like, see-
start going around it like a corn in the cob.
Yeah. He's
Still
just gonna like,
understand things?
we're just gonna look at him a bit and be like, "Can you hear me now? Like, can you talk?"
It's just continually sort of eating at that chunk of meat.
Just gonna
I
scratch
think
his
the
head.
effect is worn off
Okay.
by now.
Yeah. He's gonna be like, "Oh, okay. Well,
So,
it was fun while it lasted." And then just gonna walk over to Anger. Angus, that's what it's called. That's the one.
well, Angus, you can prepare spices and get that marinating, and the shark can tell you her story.
Yes, sorry.
Honestly, I wouldn't be too worried about it. Whenever Gronka goes off and comes back, it is usually a surprise.
I don't want to think about it. My brain wants answers though.
Later.
You know what? You know what? Yes. Shelve that. Ain't. So, you two, do you know anything about the War of the Undying?
Little bit.
Most of what I know is from scant reports and books.
Well, I'm going to give you the full story.
But this will be interesting.
It really all begins with the Awakened. Before anyone knew about them, one man, Oldest, is the one that followers on death to embrace it as a form of powerful ascension beyond the cycle of life and death. That came at a price. It came at the price of what was once called Karos Peninsula is now called the Karos Isles. It was a powerful city of magic, technology, what have you, with scant details, and one particular person gave ideas about. But the sinking of Sakar involved this rise of the Chisholm. That's where it began. He constructed black towers on these ley-lined conjunctures. This was over centuries. Slowly but surely, as its construction began, dark forces in the shadows gathered. The dead started to come to life. The dead wastes, the settling woods, the white wastes, golden expanse, Ansia's swamplands, everywhere else started attacking settlements. Fettered and decaying monstrosities emerged, unyielding and ever hungry. where it started. But remember the Moorbog? It wasn't always like that. It was green once. Till Valdus ripped it asunder, leaving a wound. That's where the dead came forth. Tides of dead, valiant soldiers, and clerics and priests garrisoned in the fortresses and castles near the Moorbog during the first outbreaks. Throughout the decades of war, the sparse Matilla coalesced into elite united fronts and slowed the tides enough that neighboring nations could react quickly. Just like in Morthholm, the Awakened did capture many living and sacrifice them in blood necessary to fuel their blood magic and continue their crusade. The rest of the civilized nations and empires of the world were at war. This was a war of liberation for them, and this was a horrid, blood-stained nightmare. In the desperation of these nations of worlds banded together, old rivalries and hatred set aside for the fear of a greater foe, battered and beaten them. Individually, each nation had little chance to stand against Valdus and his crusade of liberation. Together as one, they presented an unbreakable, united front. This was the Pact, a loose coalition of the world's remaining navals, armies, martial, magical guilds united under the pressure of self-preservation and a common foe. You already know all these kingdoms. The Silver Kingdom, the Dehosian Dynasty, the Carthan Commonwealth, the Kateshi Empires, the Dominion of Torment, and the Empire of the Celestial Dragon. We even had help at that point from Baldur's own jealous progeny, Efsut. He was a key to the First Lich's downfall. The nations gathered their armies for one final push against Valdus. The invasion of Kalkik Isles. And it was at that point there, on that isle, the First Lich, already amidst a cataclysmic ritual to wrench the entire Celtic Peninsula from back of the grasp of the ocean's depths. And this was all on top of a peak of a magnificent black tower, which was once the center of the great city of Sakar. Valdus gathered his most loyal and gifted sorcerers and necromancers to complete this final portion of the spell. It was before it could be completed, though. The Pact's fleets, warriors, knights, berserkers, paladins, and warcasters across the world realms spilled forth, laying siege to this well-fortified island. Key landmarks and locations were captured, seized from undead thralls, while key foes and ritualists needed to finish the spell were assassinated from the shadows. The invasion of Kelko's Isles was a brutal months-long campaign filled with bloodshed and valiant last stands and prolific victories, but eventually, Pax forces pushed forward into the Dark Tower at the island center. Armies of the Pact. It was called Ruin's Peak, and the devastation is left in the Awakened's wake earned such a moniker. During the Battle of Ruin's Peak, during that campaign, a small group of heroes, mysteriously imbued with powerful astral magic, ascended the tower, united only in their efforts to destroy the First Lich and end the war. Among these legendary figures was the human Carthan general, Curtis Garden, the mythic satyr, arch druid, Eldred Feathergrove, the heroic demon paladin, Arthur Alruin, legendary orc master of the Way of the Ascended Dragon, Ketong Rawfang, the heroic Dwarven shaman, Cosmorg, and the halfling bardic legend, Arden Goldfoot. During the battle, Valdez's most trusted necromancer and a race once human named Mortis Dredge betrayed his former master by turning his necromantic powers against the Lich, wounding him just enough for Tardis to strike a killing blow, but at the expense of the general's own life. Valdez was defeated and his horde withered and collapsed. Thus, the war was over. Some of those heroes made it back. Those that died probably are still there. Bodies are still there. And after the war was done, the Iron's Gate Keep being built, and so was the Accord. We all know that the Iron's Gate Accord, I was instrumental in its creation, in the Constitution, and the practice of necromancy. Only 3 nations signed that accord. Malin's Council of the Commonwealth and the Tahoshan Dynasty, who created those 2 walls. And that's where we're at now. So, Angus, have I caught your attention now?
Yep. As he's kind of focusing on his work. You have my attention, as he's clearly distracting himself.
Hmm.
Don't worry, he is listening.
I gathered.
I am quite surprised, in a way. But at the same time, I'm not.
If you have questions, ask.
It may just be me thinking like the heroes of old times would band together, but I never really expected it to be this much mixed, I guess.
Well, when the world is under the pressure of death, you would think common sense of self-preservation I want to live. Motivates people to do something that, under normal circumstances, wouldn't do.
Seems like I have to do some back reading of my own.
I'll tell you this. You will not find this in a book. All of what I told you will not find in the book. Right, for sure.
How do you know it? Oral traditions?
That's one way to put it, yes. I'll say this. Right, for sure. For certain. Knowledge I just gave you is of the utmost secret. Because by public knowledge, no one should really know this. The only reason why I told you, because of Cosmorg and the dreams you said had. All this a gift. And use it as you will. But I would like this to stay between us.
Right. Why do they have to tell everything like it's a fireside spooky story?
Because sometimes there's a grain of truth in every story.
I think it also helps with, retaining people's attention.
That too.
Well, I don't want to pay attention. I don't like scary stories.
Whoa, I'm
But
sorry.
you made me. No, it's fine.
I'll say this.
I'll have to learn it eventually.
Yeah, we'll get there.
Yeah, but you guys helped me find my purpose, in a sense. I'm scant on the details since my dream, but ever since that Morbog business made me sure on something. If you don't have a reason to continue living, not having a reason at all is almost just like being one of the dead.
Yes.
So,
I hope you have a reason.
I have guilds right here. I have 3. This group, my other half, and apparently a dream that I need to, I guess, make it happen. I am at a loss for it, but one step at a time.
Okay.
I have a lot of things going through my head right now with what you just said.
Fair enough. So if you have any questions, feel free to ask.
I'll stew on them for a little bit before I ask, because I want to have my thoughts clear on it.
I'm not sure how to feel about things at the moment. I have to say, the story's definitely made it a lot more, well, difficult.
In what way?
A little shift, a little uncomfortable.
Oh.
Yeah, he is. While you're telling your story, the more you've gone further into it, the more he's stopped smoking the pipe smugly and sipping the drink, and instead busying himself with his little stone model and working on it and trying to distract himself from the story. It seems he's not having a good time. You in fact did know stories in lore that he didn't expect you to, and now he's not happy.
You know, Angus, you make things, right?
Hell, yes.
Like a blade.
I make grunkas.
Let me ask you this then. How long does it take without, help? Does it take to make a blade?
I suppose it depends. It really changes based on, who's making it. I can't give you an exact time frame, but maybe a day, maybe more if you're making it nice.
I take same thing that you, vellum, and he looks to Sal. However you craft yours. Every person is like a blade, and life is like the forge. However long it takes you to go through a process of being the best person you can be, it will be uncomfortable. Just like the fires in the forge. How you are shaped. Some may even ask at that point, I certainly have, when am I done? When am I going to be the blade of ages? And you guys gave me that's a particular answer. Just wait. Take your time. Yes, things are going to be severely uncomfortable. But at the end of it all, whatever you are made into, I think you'll be one of a kind.
And
like everyone.
One of a kind, I suppose. But thank you. Sorry, did I interrupt something?
No, I just wasn't expecting a thank you.
Oh, well. Why wouldn't I tell you thank you? He's now generally confused, setting the little model down a little bit.
It's, as he puts this, it's a mentality of, well, he has this look on her face like he already said too much to you guys, and this is a heavy subject.
I'm not sure if I'm quite ready to tackle my great-grandpappy's given everything that we just went through.
No, it's find it not in haha funny, just more of the fact I find mirrors. What I mean by that is a particular path I could have gone but I chose a different path, if that makes sense. I could have easily became a cleric. That was someone's wish, but I chose a different path. Anyway.
Choose your path and do what you wish, I suppose. It's what I do. As he sort of taps the little sketches. I was supposed to just be a baker.
Well, at the time I didn't have a luxury of a choice.
Well, now you do, and that's that. Well, slaps his leg and stands up. I have to cook a fish.
Alright.
Shall we...
Thank you for the story. It was very uncomfortable. I'm gonna go making dinner now. Goodbye. And he sort of waddles off towards the kitchen.
Sarah just gives a nod.
Goodbye.
Hello. Do you have the spaces? And with that, we can, if you want to, go over to Liska.
Alright, so... let's pan over to Liska, shall we? This one. No, the sunset here. So, as you walk briskly along... Actually, I will set up some beachside ambience, that'll be better. So, walking briskly along the wooden pier of the town of Itzil's docks to meet up with Tuli and Ida. The view of the glistening beaches stretches out before you. Beautiful in the sunset here. The adobe stone residences catch your eye, each one intricately adorned with unique designs. Some are tipped in gold patterns, or trimmed with gold patterns. Some have been transformed into small, cosy restaurants. You hear the chatter of patrons and the clinking of terracotta plates and mugs. Vibrant market stalls flank the pathway, each one showcasing this array of exotic goods and locally made trinkets. The air is filled with a tantalizing aroma of spices, freshly roasted meats that would entice anyone's nose and make anyone's mouth water. And instead of the usual cries of seagulls you'd expect in a coastal town, you hear your ears are graced with the distant squawks of majestic pterodons soaring high above. The prehistoric calls blending together with the chatter of merchants haggling, laughter from diners enjoying their meals in open-air dining areas, and the sounds of waves lapping against the pier, this stone pier. And you finally spot Tuli and Ida waving from this long stone pier overlooking the lapping waves. They've seemingly chosen this prime spot for the sunset, sheltered by this wide tarp, and they're sitting at a round marble table. One larger chair than others is empty, waiting for you to join them. And there's a large stein of ale at the empty seat too, the size of which brings it close to the definition of a bucket. Are you here again? Are you muted?
Sorry, I was muted.
There you go.
Yeah, so I appreciate the bucket of alcohol. And yeah, Liska's gonna walk on up. I was trying to think of what she could potentially wear.
Besides a bit of gold.
Yes, aside from purely gold. Probably,
These are
like,
fancy pants.
I mean, maybe I'd probably say she'll wear something that's a little bit more, because she's not one for, dressing up, so she doesn't have much kind of fancy normal clothes. She does keep normal clothes on her, just, for the brief points in time traveling that she doesn't have to wear armor. But I guess that changes now with the gold armor. But, so I'll say she has, like, probably just some nice leather pants. I'll say black. And then she can have, like, I don't know how to describe this, like, tube top bustier, like a tube top, like a half, what's the word I'm looking for? Like a half corset, and that, so she shows off her abs, but also, like, shows off some cleavage.
Yeah, so just like a simple tube top.
Yeah.
But with a bit more support.
Yes.
Okay.
And I'll say, just because she can, she'll still, and because, it looks good with, and I guess the top will be red. So she'll still have the gold armor, so she's wearing black, red, and gold.
Nice.
Aside from her normal blue that, comes with the package. And yeah, so she's going to kind of meander her way there, get there on time, and walk up, kind of sit down, and be like,
You approach them. They both politely applaud you. Ida says with a flourish, "The new champion arrives. Please do sit. I took the liberty of ordering us all drinks beforehand. I believe we're just about to order food."
"Thank you." It's like, I appreciate the drink. I will buy one for yourself as well.
I couldn't finish an entire.
I was not speaking of something like this, but just something else that if you would like to partake or try on the menu.
Of course. And you see above the open air kitchen are these large tablets of slate, and written in chalk is the menu, consisting of a number of meals, mainly seafood meals. There's things like plesiosaur, poke bowl, bowls of these sort of marinated raw fish, showcasing plesiosaurus, served on a bit of seaweed salad, avocado, pickled ginger, sesame soy dressing. There's grilled dunkleosteus, mosasaur, seafood gumbo, grand buttered crab, or giant sea scorpions served with raptor eggs. There's things like seafood skewers with a variety of prawns, scallops, salmonites, calamari, brushed with a smoky chipotle glaze. And there's also the seafood paella. How do you say it? Paella. This grand assortment of a dish, featuring an abundance of seafood, like lobster, mussels, ammonites, trilobites, shrimp, cooked with saffron-induced rice, and a medley of vegetables, of course. It is a cornucopia of incredibly hearty seafood here.
Nice. I will also say that do I want... Oh, it's too late. I already did it. But I will say that, do you get to show off Liska's, like, full torso and, like, upper arm tattoos. Because that what she have. Yeah, Liska's going to kind of look at the menu and just kind of look around. It's like, do you know if we go up to order, or is there a wait or someone to come by to take it?
We just look at the order, see what it wants. I'll go up and order.
Okay. I am not particularly picky on what food I like to eat. But if it happens to have spice, please order that. It is, what little way I have of remembering where I came from, Torment.
Very well. We'll order the seafood parlor with an extra spicy chipotle glaze, shall we?
Mm-hmm.
Very well. And with that, she goes up to order, comes back, and she says, "So, what has been your experience like in Itzil so far? What have you been doing? What have you been enjoying yourselves?"
Let's see. In Itzil, I can say I haven't necessarily done much. Most of the most exciting things that occurred, you already know about. Going down into the deepest depths of the ocean,
Of course.
or of course, just winning a race. No, I tend to find that most interesting things, and she's looking like, from Ida to Tuli and back and forth, engaging both. I find that most interesting things tend to happen while you're on the road. It is dangerous traveling from the safe haven of city to city.
I can certainly agree with that. Tuli and I have certainly had our more close encounters while travelling on the road. We've not visited the ruins just on the outskirts of the town of the crossroads, have you? Coming in?
Did we? Because I know we went south to, and that's where we found the grave of the giant that was on the top of those rocks with all the pterosaurs. But on our way up,
small wounds here and there.
Yeah, did we go to the crossroad ones, or did we bypass those?
I think that was...
I think you may have bypassed that.
Okay. No, I did not happen to... In our travels, we did not go there. Why? Is there something... Did you? Is there something of particular interest that you saw?
Oh, I was just mentioning the I suppose it's perhaps something that you might not enjoy, but it's the history behind those stones is truly captivating. Apparently, it was once an Akteshi market where they sold some smaller species of dragon, like exotic pets. This entire region of the world is caked in Akteshi history. It's wonderful.
It's true, we have come across quite a lot. We found the tomb of a giant chieftain, hidden away. It was on the top of a very, very tall stone pillar.
Oh, we must have missed it then, Tuli. Perhaps we did. Oh, do you remember the coastal cave we found on our first day here? The one filled with crystals. Oh yes, absolutely gorgeous. Especially during the night when the moonlight refracted through them at just the right angle. Yes, it was like dancing starlight on the cave walls.
That actually sounds very beautiful. Could you perhaps show me sometime? Tonight, perhaps? This is going to look up to see what state the moon is in. If it's a full moon, if it's like half, or...
It's actually, I have the
you have a calendar.
I have a calendar for this.
You have a calendar.
Both moons are in waxing and waning gibbous, so not full moon, but bright enough.
Waxing and waning, so they would be... Okay, so together they might equal a full moon.
Perhaps.
But yeah, that sounds very interesting, particularly given the colors of the moon. I mean, if you want to, of course. I can always go there myself, but I always find taking in beautiful things tends to be better with someone else. Some people else.
She kind of, they both kind of look to each other for a moment. You know what? That would be a fabulous idea. It's quite a rare mineral formation in there. It's nothing I've ever quite seen before. Oh, have you also met any of the local artisans, perhaps?
I have, yes. They are the ones that happen to, and this is going to kind of motion to the gold that's, visible on her body. It's
I was about to say, looks fairly dashing on you.
Oh, thank you very much. It seems to, and she's just gonna lift up an arm and flex. It's it is very odd to have such protection, but also such freedom of movement.
Indeed.
I can do anything wearing this.
It's very impressive. They have remarkable skills in crafting beautiful jewelry, pottery, with such comparatively mundane materials, and there's nothing to say about the more magical materials they use. And she gestures to your tattoos. It's fascinating. And she adjusts a few small, brightly coloured, flowery bright bracelets around her wrists. And Tony goes, "Oh, there is also this scenic hiking trail that leads to a breathtaking waterfall. It's a must-see."
I find myself to be at somewhat of a disadvantage. Usually I get to a town and I find all the silly things like small little duels and racing. It seems that you seem to find all these beautiful moments outside of town in nature. Perhaps I should start kind of taking that into account.
Ida kind of turns to Tully and says, "And perhaps we should look for the. Perhaps we should look for." Oh, I've lost my train of thought here. Perhaps we should look at what we can experience inside of town then, as well. Although, whenever we return here, truly, we should plan a sailing trip. The waters around Itzil are perfect for it. You wanted to see the ocean from below. I should like to see them from above at some point.
We do have... since we are leaving tomorrow, I definitely think we might have to leave most of our fun to tonight. But when we do come back from the temple, I definitely don't see any reason why we cannot take some time. I can show you around the city, what fun we can have in the city, and you can show me what fun we can have in nature.
What do you think, Tuli? You know what? I would enjoy that. Perhaps we can try some of the street food. I remember we did try one yesterday. What was it, dear? Roasted arthropeluria, love. Oh, right, the giant centipedes. Not bad. Not as bad as I was expecting.
They always have such... I've noticed they always have such long names for things around here, It is
merely the academic term.
I don't know. I guess they do... I heard, long striders is what I heard most people referring to the creatures I raced on, but then also there was Gallop
Gallimimus?
Mime. That was it.
Yes.
See, I've always been horrible with those. You'll have to excuse me. I've always been horrible with those kind of scholarly words and names. I tend to find most of my expertise is in the kind of physical arts.
Of course. You can't expect everyone to know these the proper names one might find among the rather uptight upper crust of academic society. Longstrider is a fine term in any case. Giant centipede. It's what they are, to be quite frank.
I understand. I am a simple woman, you know. I've always been very straightforward in my methods of attack, be it in real life or combat. But
I mean, that has some charm in and of itself.
Lucy just gives her a big smile.
So, how do you feel about our spot of dungeon delving tomorrow? How do you feel about the Tomb of the Dragon Rider now that I've given you all the brief?
Well, and Liska's gonna kind of get a bit more, I guess, business-like, because this is kind of business. Well, I do like to think that we are prepared for most of anything that we will be seeing. I myself tend to lean more towards the protection aspect. I'm sure you have seen my torment shields as well as what I can do in combat. So if we are in there and something were to happen, if you would please, and she's going to look between them both again, kind of linger a little bit on Tully, just stay close so I can protect you.
Of course.
By the way, and she's going to kind of reach out a hand and just whatever's closest. It's not like a strong grip, but just do like a light finger touch to Tully. Just be like, how do you, by the way, from what happened underwater? Are you okay? Have you any lingering things?
I'm absolutely fine. I was a bit rattled to begin with, but I mean, it's beasts doing what beasts do.
Mm-hmm.
That is just the way of nature. In truth, it was probably my fault for exposing myself out in the open waters too much. But I am completely fine.
Don't be too hard on yourself. We all were kind of exposed down there.
Perhaps. But you all dealt with it well enough. So I am not worried. I am not hurt. I am fine.
Mm-hmm. It is good to hear. I'm happy to hear it.
It is about your dwarven friend, Angus, was it?
Mm-hmm.
He seemed somewhat hesitant, even, dare I say, offended that he felt like you all weren't getting compensated fairly enough.
Yes, he. I will say that he is very self-oriented. He likes to make sure that even though we'll be going down into a tomb and whatever we may find, his arts to find or to keep, that in and of itself isn't, I guess, worth his time. I think it's something I've noticed, that he always tries to make everything a business deal. It's just kind of his thing.
Well, I suppose I can't fault him. None have set foot in the tomb for thousands of years, and there's no telling what other dangers lurk in there than what we haven't already assumed lurks within. He seemed very fixated on the risk, and I can understand that.
again, with the kind of... We have faced a lot, and we have faced, in my eyes, probably far more dangerous things than what we will find down there. I mean, traveling through the Morbog, we had to kill a dragon twice.
Twice?
And that's...
Yes,
twice.
you told us about that.
Yeah. I'm sorry, by the way, I'm sorry, when I mentioned that when we had first met in the other restaurant, that seemed to make you uncomfortable. Is that okay?
Oh no, I was merely surprised that you killed a dragon twice.
Well, I mean, it was... I will say, it's not odd having to kill a dragon, but the fact that they had to kill it twice is kind of the odd thing. I've killed every type of chromatic dragon except for a red. But yeah, she was a magic caster, and she had prepared, I think the jar had called it a clone or something, and that somehow allowed her to come back to life. But
that would make sense. Frightful indeed.
Yes, she was a... You know, we learned some things that made her somewhat sympathetic, but in the end, when you kidnap and torture one of my friends, you know, bad things happen. And she wasn't the type of individual to back down. So.
And I suppose she left you no choice.
No. Came very close to dying, though. That was a thing. Makes you appreciate life more, at least adventuring, because you're so close to death all the time. But this is very much a mood killer.
Make me an insight check, actually.
Oh shit. Okay. I'm actually kind of decent on insight. Boo. Nope. Not tonight.
Can't even help you there, bro. You're on your own.
Well,
yeah, level 3.
I suppose onto more immediate things. You mentioned about we talked about Angus, so she notice she kind of pauses for a moment. She definitely seems reticent to badmouth a potential ally. But she says, would it be unfair to guess that Angus tends to assume the worst of things? I've known a few individuals like that in my time. Not to deride your dwarven friend at all, he seems very well versed in Akteshi history, and I have much respect for that.
Let's just kind of looks off to the side, thinking for a moment. I don't... Well, he is somewhat cynical. I don't know if he particularly believes or sees the worst in people. At least not with his own people.
Yes,
but
it's just, when someone lives long enough, one tends to see patterns in behavior.
No, I very much understand. And she kind of motions between all of them. It's like, I am very, as you probably know, used to outliving what individuals I meet outside of Torment. But it's something you see. That is true. Dwarves tend to be very focused on themselves and their people specifically.
Yes,
Sorry, continue.
I've noticed that stubbornness is quite prominent in dwarven society. Dwarves are nothing if not sticklers for tradition. But on the same hand, on average, dwarves tend to be also very loyal people. How long have you known Angus for?
Uh, we. I first met him. I first met him during the siege in Dunhollow. And then we actually kind of officially got together. Oh gosh, and insert name for February.
Furthas.
Yeah, for us. I'd probably say we've been traveling together since then. Furthas.
So you've had him for quite a while then.
A bit, yes.
I mean that you've had him.
He's a good individual to have on your side in combat. He's past kind of fuels a hatred inside him that he doesn't quite have control over, so that again is kind of something that dwarves tend to follow.
A hatred for goblinoids, I'm guessing.
Yes.
Yes, I've seen that for. I've seen that in a lot of dwarves, so not surprising.
But it is what it is.
That you've had him in your group for such a while, it speaks to his character and the character of your group.
We have a good group, ranging from intellectual inventors from InSal to inspiring, growing leaders in Vellum, interesting, quirky individuals with a very deep connection to nature with Gronka. Dazar is relatively new, very curious, very... She kind of she's kind of has a small smile on her face as she's talking about her party. And Dazar, always extremely curious, perhaps a little too curious, and she gets sometimes a little too focused on one specific thing that she gets blinders in regards to anything else.
Well, thank you for that. Thank you for preparing me with that knowledge. As I believe she wanted both of us to teach her a new language, so that will be interesting to take into account.
Yeah, I'm sure that she will pick it up very quickly.
How did you come to know the rest of your group alongside Angus, or did you all meet at different times?
Well, I knew...
Besides Dejana, of course.
I knew Vellum, Sal, and Gronka beforehand. I was part of the expedition that the king, King Art of the Mountain, sent down to retrieve his daughter.
Yes, I heard about that.
Yes, ended up fighting a war against the Buragar. That was interesting. Killed some Illithid as well. Fought a beholder. Destroyed it, right? Yeah, that was a very, very tiring and long campaign. But and that's where we found Vadmir.
Ah, yes. Tuli mentioned about this. The small satyr girl you found in Deep Dark. Poor thing.
She's doing well. I know. She hardly ever leaves Vellum's side. He's very, very much taken on a fatherly role.
I noticed that. It's Tuli kind of intervenes and says, "It's adorable."
It is. It's very cute to see how he acts around her. Even when she's about twice his age. It's... I don't know. It's one thing that I'm very happy this is gonna kind of be introspective, like kind of looking for a bit. It's like it was a very big decision to leave Torment, to leave Ragnarok. I knew it was something I had to do. There was far too much there that I couldn't stay. But leaving allowed me to see so much more of the world and the people in it and the interactions, and they're so short-lived, but they live so much in the short time that they have.
Indeed. I know that, the stereotype is that Torment soldiers are all meat-headed automatons ingrained into nothing but a culture of war, but surely you must have had some fond memories growing up there. Did you have any friends, family, or something similar?
Yes. I don't know how familiar you are with Torment, but I had my crush when I was growing up. A bunch of like-minded, well, not like-minded, a bunch of individuals born at the same time kind of grouped together into a, for lack of a better term, like a small little platoon. Just like a bunch of tiny little kids running around, learning together and trying together. Really helps build up a strong bond. But I was born alongside my brother Friste. We were together for quite a long time. There's something to be said about a twin. You kind of have a connection that allows you to work together almost in sync, and with our capabilities, they very quickly realized that we performed beyond the capability of most, and we were very expeditiously promoted. But yeah, something happened, and while we were out on doing drills with our platoon, we were attacked by a dragon, and sadly, in allowing the platoon time to escape, Triste was killed. But
as you're recounting this mention of the dragon attack, you're kind of glancing back and forth between Tuli and Liska. Tuli and Ida, rather. You notice Ida kind of, her eyes wander sympathetically towards Tuli as well.
And yeah, after that, I kind of realized that I just needed to protect people better. I needed to be able to take care of those around me, those I called family. And after hunting down that dragon and killing it, I decided to try out for just that. I was part of the tournament, and you know how that turned out. Kila is currently in the Maroon Palace, but
well, I did see that tournament. You fought very well.
Mm-hmm.
I think at one point you even had her on the back foot.
Yes, but I did not foresee the use of magic, and that was something that I have since remedied. But it was, yeah, it's fine. I'm not bitter about it. But it would be nice to see Kima again. When Dajar first said that she was meeting with you and that you were bringing a mountain folk from the Maroon Palace, and she's gonna look to Thule with like a grin, like I thought you would be Kima. But
I suppose I gave you a bit of a heart attack there, a miniature heart attack.
Slightly, but I will say I very much prefer you to Kima, Thule.
It's just a slight blush. Well, thank you. Though you mentioned dragon slaying, I should love to know what other feats you've all achieved besides being a racing champion.
Well, I am normally not one for bragging, but if you want to, I can just give you a rundown.
You can hear the clicking as searching through the titles.
Yeah, I was gonna say. When they left Torment, I was a legionnaire within the Steel Legion. I was given the title Blue Dragon of the Waste, given both my coloration and that the dragon I killed was a blue dragon. I am known in the Hunter's Keep as a Grand Huntress and the Anvil. I am the current Ironbreaker champion in Dune Hollow, won that tournament of strength. I have killed, and she's going to kind of count on her fingers in this, 4 different dragons. I killed the Beholder twice. The same Beholder twice. It's actually, now that seems to be a theme, now that I'm thinking about it.
There seems to be a pattern going here, yes.
Yeah. And finally, I'm now the champion Gala minus one. Oh, current champion of the Ring of Slang, or the Ring of Steel, Ring of Iron.
I believe
What
it's
is out of character?
I believe Ida says, I believe it's the Ring of Steel. Yeah.
Yes, Ring of Steel. Currently, one of the champions of that. That is currently what allows me to use the sword that they have, the Slayer's Blade. But yeah, it was. I mean, I can go into a few more stories of like the intricacies and how the hunts, like from the keep, are different every time. Like going to find a Yeti, going underground to see what the Arachnid Queen is doing, that you have to force her to a different place in the tunnel so she leaves the dwarves alone. There's a lot. I mean, we helped, and she's gonna look to Thule. Like, we helped rebirth a druid grove in the Morbog.
Tuna gives a smirk. I know. Word travels very quickly among the druid circles.
It's like, well.
When I heard a group had replanted a spirit tree in the heart of the Morbog, I was shocked and thrilled. It's only a matter of time, perhaps even mere decades, before it blooms and begins the healing process. To see a green Morbog in our lifetimes, to see what it may have once looked like it. It's almost like a dream.
It's very. I will say, after having spent so much time in the Morbog, being able to sleep on the soft grass in a place of such green tranquility was very, very soothing.
I can imagine.
If I could sleep there every night, I probably would.
I do know, also, that a number of scouts from the conclaves are being sent there to establish a grove to protect it. I have spoken with the Owl Spirit. Mother Bear has blessed the tree's bark with the thickness of her hide. I suppose that may have had something to do with you, Miska.
Yes, actually. I was... When I was there, I asked her to give it the protection that it needed and deserved to kind of bring that place back to the natural beauty it was. But I'm very happy to know that she responded.
Well, you're certainly showing the promise of a well speaker. I should love to hear what comes next for you.
Well, I am trying to find the going to the another fighting tournament. Also trying to find Orichalcos, of course the Dragon Temple that we'll be going to tomorrow. There's also, and then Liska's gonna pause for a second. It's like, and then she's gonna look at Thule, and then she's gonna remember a letter talking about a certain green individual, and then she'll be like, "Did you happen to leave me a letter?"
Not that I know of.
Okay. Okay. It's just there was a letter speaking of Ashling's protection and rebirthing a grove. Okay. Have you ever heard of someone calling themselves, or someone called the Emerald Shadow?
I cannot say I have.
Can I insight check that?
Sure.
Not that she's disbelieving, but I'm just curious in case she is lying. Hey.
You notice a flick of her eye over to Ida. And then back to you.
Okay. Liska's just gonna kind of raise a brow, looking back and forth between them, making it kind of... She's not gonna pursue it. Like, she's not going to kind of lean into it. But she will make them know that she noticed. But,
okay,
yes.
okay.
It's like, okay. Well, the message did not seem threatening. But I have been tasked with finding this Emerald Shadow. They wish to meet, so... hopefully I'll be able to.
Whereabouts?
In... I think it was Tetahos? Hold on. And... did Liska bring her bag of holding with her?
Did she?
She would, because it's where she holds her money.
Okay.
So she's going to be like, hold on, and she's going to kind of reach into her bag of holding at her hip, which to her is like, this just looks like a small fucking pouch on her hip.
Yeah. It's like
and she's going to, she's going to reach in and then pull out the letter that she got, and she's going to hand it over to Thule.
I'm gonna take it and read it over.
I can paste it in party chat if you want to remember.
So yeah, I've got my notes here.
Okay.
It says to meet you at his throne. I'm not sure what his throne means.
Yeah, I don't really know either. It's like, and plus, Shieldheart, like, they mentioned the duel and protection from death, like Emerald Shadow. I don't know. It's just a lot of
very, very cryptic.
I know, right? And there's certain ones that's like there are certain letters that are capitalized. Oh, by the way, what language was this written in, Jenner?
Let me see here. I can double. I think I misplaced this part of my notes.
Because I think it was in demonic.
Yeah, I think it might have been demonic.
Okay. Then yeah, she's like, and there's certain letters that are capitalized, and I thought that's like, oh, maybe those are specific, like specific words that are supposed to kind of jump out, but I've never been one for, cryptic language or
There
like,
are
puzzle stuff like that.
there's points when being very cryptic becomes a pure inability to understand the message.
Yeah.
There is such a thing as too cryptic.
I very much agree. But yeah, so if I find mention of his throne, I will look, or if there's something with an Emerald Shadow. I think it has to do with, I mean, they mentioned the grove, but refute of undeath. So it seems like whoever this Emerald Shadow is, our paths and ideals are aligned. But hopefully they'll send a letter that is not as cryptic next time.
Hopefully.
Anyway, looks like the food is coming.
And with that, as the sun sets on the horizon, casting this golden glow over the pier, you continue exchanging stories of your travels, laughter filling the air as you recount your adventures across Mayland and Tanzia so far with whatever you're willing to share. And of course, the option is there for you to ask them anything about themselves, where they've been.
This will pretty much do. She'll definitely do that. Just kind of giving, like, Ida is obviously the lot more socially dominant of the two. Mm-hmm. So Liska will kind of direct a lot of questions and stuff towards Tuli to just kind of get her to come out of her shell a bit more.
Yeah.
And then after they're done eating and partaking in some libations, Liska's gonna see if she can have them take her to the cave, the crystal cave.
So, as the evening progresses, you finish up your meals, savouring every bite. Tuli shares this. As you're kind of talking to Tuli more, she does indeed open up. She shares an anecdote from her past about a chance encounter with a dryad, while Ida recounts a daring exploration delving into an ancient lost Nioban ruin 10 years ago, alongside an old friend of hers. As the night sky darkens, the stars begin to twinkle, and the sound of the sea creates a melody alongside the dwindling chatter of the distant beachgoers and the town. In fact, let me go ahead and do some. So I've got a nighttime beach here. Oh, it's missing.
Nighttime beach.
Here we go. As the moonlight bears down upon the beach, they take you towards a small recluse cave, just out of sight of most of Itzil, and out of sight of the temple of the ferryman as well. That's settled on this small sort of peninsula that juts out into the ocean. And it's beneath this cascading waterfall. So you kind of make your way inside. The the moonlight does shine inside. Through the waterfall, it creates this beautiful dappling effect that shimmers in the darkness. Because you don't have dark vision, neither does Tuli. Tuli kind of throws up this small pearlescent green light next to her, which bounces off the cave walls. You continue further inside.
Let's go. We'll keep close to Tuli.
Of course. And you kind of move on to sort of ask her about her past and such. Well, I grew up in a small, secluded grove, deep within the Ebonwood. I was alone for most of my life. I never knew my father. Yeah. And my mother was taken from me from an early age. A dragon attack.
Oh.
Yes, but I was taken in and raised by the local satyr clan called Clan Verda. And I had a good life with them growing up. As it turns out, my mother also kindled a friendship with them. And once I was old enough to honor my mother, I established my own grove on the outskirts of the clan's village.
I did not know that you were the Archdruid of a grove.
And I don't like to make it public. I'm not as you can probably tell, I'm not a very boastful person.
I mean, understandable. I am not as well. I think that is a mountain folk trait. But I will say that you have a lot to be proud of. You have a lot to boast about.
Well, maybe. He gives a wry grin. But, well, the grove itself didn't last forever. Dragon returned, decimated the grove. But if it weren't for the satyrs of Clan Verda, I wouldn't be here today. They're like family to me, even to this day. So I pledged to find this dragon, and you know, she pauses. Ensure it never hurt another soul again. Unfortunately, to this day, I've never been able to find it. But regardless, I try not to dwell on my past tragedies all the time. It happened, and there's little I can do about it now. There's little I can do about it now, except try to prevent what happened to me from happening to others.
I think we have very similar paths and very similar aims, Tuli.
Indeed. It's... From what I've seen in my life, sometimes it's tempting to let the pains of the past darken one's heart, mind and soul. But that path only leads to more suffering. I did my grieving long ago.
I do not know if I have quite finished mine, but I don't know. Perhaps if I had, perhaps you can tell me how you did.
Well, it's not complicated. I remembered the good times that I had with my mother. Remember the good times I had with my grove. And I just built a new life for myself. Specifically at the Murum Palace. I'm not exactly in an employee at the Maroon Palace. I don't want to get paid. I'm a volunteer. I've always loved the Maroon Gardens there. Lots of flora from the Ebonwood. It's like a quiet island in the midst of the bustling noise of Ambrosia. A home away from home.
Well, I can certainly see how you would fit amongst all those beautiful things in that garden.
You know, she does give another smirk. The gardens almost remind me of what my own grove used to look like. I suppose that's also because I may have subconsciously cultivated it to look that way, but I've yet to hear any complaints so far.
I don't know anybody who would complain about a druid grove and all the mystical and beautiful things that grow up within it. Have you... And Liska's gonna kind of pause. I do not do this lightly, because I know what it is like to deal with the death of a loved one, especially to a dragon attack. But I feel that I would be remiss to not offer my friend the aid of the preeminent dragon slayer in the Hunter's Keep. Do you wish... I am offering my services to hunt down this dragon and take care of it for you, so that you may, if you ever wish to leave the Maroon Palace, can build your grove again in peace.
Like I said, I've moved on from my past. The Maroon Gardens are my grove now, but you would track down this dragon and slay it?
Yes. I do not like to see the suffering of innocence. I do not like knowing that there is a creature out there born of hatred and anger, just destroying the beautiful places of this world, hurting its people. It's why I joined the Hunter's Keep. It's why it's how I repay my debts to my brother. Maybe someday he'll forgive me. Maybe someday I'll forgive myself.
Then I suppose it would not be... it would be cruel to deny you this, I suppose, method of grieving. Yes, I would be happy if you were to track down this dragon.
Okay.
I
Well,
do not know her name, but she was a green dragon.
yeah.
And, as far as I know, she makes her home, her lair, somewhere in the outskirts of the Ebonwood Forest.
You said Ebonwood Forest?
Yes, Ebonwood Forest.
Okay. Alright. Liska, truly can see, a very serious look come over Liska's face, like this is Grand Huntress face, that she like pulls that, like it takes in the information. Green dragon near the forest, location probably, and she's like going through her head like probably this old, this capabilities, like what I need to do to get there, what I know about green dragons. And then like once that's kind of done, like her smile comes back and she kind of relaxes again. It's like, well, how could I ever repay you for allowing me to help you?
I think what you have promised to do is favor enough.
Okay.
To know that the Abendwood is safe, to know that my family, Clan Verita, is safe, is enough.
Well,
And it will be a weight off of my shoulders.
well, as long as it brings a smile to your face, I am happy. I consider that payment enough.
She seems to blush slightly and go a bit quiet as you reach the end of the cave. You see this beautiful sight, almost like a geode cut, kind of bifurcated down the center, where the crystals have seemingly grown over the entirety of the cavern walls, the ceiling. The first thing you notice are these small glints of light shimmering from Tuli's light spell, or her dancing lights, as she kind of sends them up one by one to different portions of the cave. It's a beautiful sight. It glitters like starlight. It's like seeing a mirror image of the night sky, kind of reflected in the end of this cavern surrounding you, reflected upon these sort of dark, ebon black crystals sort of jutting out of the walls. Some of them almost sort of rising high to connect with the top crystalline formations, like these columns of crystal that have formed from eons of mineral build-up. And both Ida and Tuli just sort of look to each other, look to you, and they both kind of hold hands and give a smile. Beautiful, isn't it? Ida says.
It is. It very much is. It's been a while since I've seen something like this. Thank you for allowing me to. Thank you for sharing.
You know, I do have some camping supplies on me right now. Might be.
Oh, really?
What better way to rest for the next day than to sleep under, well, not quite the starlight, but something very similar.
Sure. I will take you up on your offer.
And
it's been. Oh, sorry. No, good. Sorry. Continue.
So as the sky further darkens outside, the stars don't cease twinkling. Not because you can see them. Not because you can see the night sky, but because you can see this beautiful imitation of them here in this cave. And the evening draws to a close. you'll rest here for the moment. At least until the morning.
Fade to black.
Yeah. So, some of you wanted to do the temple of the ferryman.
Indeed.
Right.
I think I hardware muted myself.
What? That'll be a problem.
Yeah, that was something I wanted to do, if that's so.
Yep. Angus, did you want to do that as well?
No, I don't, because I've gone there before, or at the wall, we did the communication, I remembered that. I have no reason to be there or want to go there.
Alright, okay. So, Miss Vellum and Deja.
There was a talk I wanted to do that would have been sort of around the time
Yep, go ahead.
the scholarly learning was going on.
Mm-hmm.
A little bit of a time rewind, but it's sort of in sync with Liska going off and doing things, so, you know.
So, yes, yes, you wanted to have a talk with Vardner, I believe.
Yes.
Right, so where is this happening exactly? At the lounge?
Yeah, the lounge. Like he took her to the balcony so people could talk war crimes. You know, the usual. And he's there. It's. I presume it's a quieter night, and the sun's just sort of crested below the horizon, sort of deal. He takes a few moments leaning on the edge of it, staring out at the horizon. Come take a look at this, Vaddy.
Oh, okay. She hurries out after you.
He'll gesture out to the horizon. This may not seem like much to some people, but this reminds me of an old phrase that the priests back home used to tell us younger ones. The sun will rise tomorrow. It may not seem much, it's a very obvious thing to say, but its depth came from comfort. Certain. Just looking at this journey, we've come across a lot of strange things. And a lot of things that don't make sense to any of us. Or even don't make sense still. But there is one certainty in this world. That no matter what's happening, the sky could be falling. You could be deep in the darkest pit. But the sun will rise when the dawn comes. No force in this world can change that. Whenever you feel uncertain on this road we're on, try to remember that, yeah?
Opni gives a silent nod. It's very
He looks-
pretty.
It is.
Uh,
You'd think
She kind of
some would.
hops up onto the balcony, kind of dangles her legs, and swinging them below.
You'd think with sun worshippers we care more about it being up than down, but there's a beauty to all things when it's full. Think of the sun as a traveler on an endless journey. They could stay in one place, but there's other places that need the light they bring. They move across the world, the light, and the warmth, touching everyone and everything that it comes across and just making it better. It's never really here or gone, it's just elsewhere. A lot of people lose sight of that when the night comes. And then he'll sort of pause. As there's sort of a little more clarity in his mind and he's thought of something. I'd like to ask you a question, Vladimir.
Sure.
Outside of all this business with the egg and our travels together, what do you want to do with your life? There's going to be more of it after whatever we've dealing with ends. And so far we've kind of just been, I don't want to say deciding for you, but I feel like I've not really taken the time to find out what you want out of life.
She kind of thinks for a moment. So big, long, hard think. You can tell she certainly wasn't expecting this question. Vladimir has never thought about that before. Since Vladimir lost her parents, she no longer feels connected to the Ebonwood.
Have you ever wanted to go back there someday?
Maybe. But Vladimir supposes she would more like to see the world. And Vladimir did not see it until she left to follow the voice of the big dragon lady.
It is a lot. This big world of ours. Fair of gold as anything.
Vladimir would also like to explore her magic. Maybe fly one day, like Tulali called them Tannodons. Maybe be as powerful as the Jar. Maybe make more than just one person invisible.
Well, she did say she would help teach you, and I think you're in good hands with her.
Yeah, it would help her and her friends be very sneaky. Maybe I can use my magic to be more sneaky. It is what the and she gets a bit more sort of, she shrinks in on herself a bit more. It's what the shadow people were training her to do.
At that point, he'll turn himself from the balcony he was living on and take a knee.
And she kind of panics a bit and says, "Maybe I can continue it, but on my own. It was fun, but the shadow people weren't."
This is kind of why I asked. It seems like a lot of, at least from what I know, a lot of your life choices and the path you've taken hasn't been your own. It's been decided by other people or from circumstance. And I won't deny that skills used are for your own reasons at best. But I'd like to think that eventually you'll find your way and find something you want to use your capability for. Something to fill the long life you're gonna have ahead of you.
Vladimir, traveling with all of you, Vladimir kind of feels guilty not contributing. Vladimir has been hiding a lot in this place, and Tanzia. There's a lot of big lizards here, kind of scary. Especially the big white one. Yeah, but if you want to fight me yourself, fight me I can. You're all very brave and fight me isn't.
I'd say you've been fairly brave already. I mean, before we met you, you were hiding away in tunnels and avoiding some very well-trained people trying to find you.
Fatmir kind of shakes her head. Fatmir was actually very scared while she was down there. Only felt safe in the grove. While I was in that grove, it was like being hugged by my mother. It is why Fatmir cried when it died. She kind of stutters and pauses. Fatmir has not told anyone this, but ever since we left that place, Fatmir has had nightmares about the squid-faced people, the spider people, chasing Fatmir through the caves. Fatmir didn't want to say anything because you're all very brave, and Fatmir wants to be brave too, but like Liska, for example. Liska's not scared of anything.
Well, I think, firstly, it's understandable to be scared, and it's just natural, especially with what you've seen being so young, but you'll hear this a lot parroted by people who may or may not understand it, but being brave isn't being fearless. There's a difference. Being brave means knowing what makes you afraid, what stops you from doing what you need to do, and working around it to achieve things beyond what you could have before. I dare say even Liska might be afraid of something. She's just got the instincts of training. To a smaller degree, I'm afraid I'll make a mistake and ruin whatever I'm doing, be it at work or in a fight. But I pushed myself to be brave. I rely on what I know and what my body tells me to do. Instinct. It's a kind of bravery. It lets you back when your mind doesn't let you.
You've all fought against scary monsters and not even flinched. It seems silly of me to be scared of dreams that can't even hurt me.
No, there's nothing silly about that, Verdi. I've been struggling with some dreams myself for a long time. And they can hurt. Not your body, but your spirit. So, don't feel ashamed of dreaming nightmares. Because they have a message, they have more to them. And even though they make you scared, having the bravery to see past the fear it will make them go away. Or at least make them less fearful.
You think?
Go on.
Do you think Vatmir should be more... When you fight the big scary monsters, do you think Vatmir should be fighting them alongside you?
I want to say no. I do think that you can someday. I mean, we've even me, who was probably the least experienced person here. I mean, I came over on a boat with nothing but a sword and a dream. And it's been a hard road learning and getting to where I am. Be able to hold my own in the insane things we come across. But you need that time. You need that practice and training. I think your work with Deja will help that. Someday, if things do come to it, I think you'll be ready. There is more to life. Fighting and monsters, however. So chaotic in this world that sometimes it feels like that's all there is. But just look at all of us. Angus with his cooking, his passion is that before anything, I dare say, clerical or otherwise. Sal has her machines, and yes, she uses them to huge destructive effect, but there's those that protect and help. I mean, even Grunko's just an angry rock on legs. He's got his peace, his calmness of just sitting by a pool of water and fishing for whatever he can get. There's a balance about it.
Balance. And she kind of... You see her face sort of scrunch as she has a moment of introspection here.
He gives her the time she needs, but like after a good bit of quiet, he will speak up again. Bodmir, do you... I know this is a difficult subject, but besides your parents, do you have any other family? Anyone you might be able to stay with someday?
If there is, Vatman does not know them. Or know of them.
Bodmir, this will sound strange, and I understand if it is an odd thing to ask. But knowing what I know, a child shouldn't go through the world alone. And while I know your kind age differently than mine, state of mind is still there. Would you like me to raise you?
Vatmir's eyes go wide, and the tightest and biggest hug you've ever experienced from Vatmir is wrapped around your waist, and a silent but rapid nod you feel against you.
He'll take a moment in sort of surprise at the sudden burst of action, but he'll sort of kneel down again and put his arms around her. I'll take that as a yes then.
And with that, we'll leave it there. So,
good RP this session.
Yeah, definitely.
Dad confirmed.
Dad apparently confirmed.
Recording.
Yep, I will stop recording in 3, 2,